G'day, welcome back to my Oxygen Not Included playthrough as we continue to, I guess, sort of figure out how rockets work. So, one thing I just noticed there is that we've got no blossom seeds planted here, but I suspect that's just sort of like these guys getting to it. We've got a ton of gristleberry. Like, we possibly could reduce the amount that we even have, I would say, at this point. This meaning that this auto sweeper has got a chance in there to start sweeping stuff if I was to finish sort of setting it up. But I haven't. Curious as well on how that sort of meat-wise is gone. We're getting decent calories from the meat, but I think that we're still hanging out for this guy to get way more populated. And I think that it's these guys in the top. They need to... wonder as well if I need more fridges, if it's gonna, all this meat needs refrigeration. I would really think that this guy needs to have all his incubators full. There's actually a lot of meat just sitting in there on the floor. Really should make someone else a rancher as well, get more working on that. We can see that these are full. What is filling them up, out of curiosity? Is it just the... So it's curative tablets. Like tons of allergen medicine. Have I just got an infinite quest on that? No, nothing going on. Well, I think more it's just that we want these guys cooking as fast as they get it. They're also cooking the gristleberry. Maybe I need to get a third cook going too. Alright. Okay, so thank you for those that commented on the previous video. I am also enjoying the amount of time that I'm now giving between when a video goes up and the amount of time we've got available to comment before I actually do a video. Okay, some definitely technical stuff with the rockets that we'll get to. The first one that I thought was interesting was they added an amazing disconnect tool in the very bottom right of screen. You can use it to drag between two sections of pipe, and it will be instantly disconnected. Extract pipe contents. That seems pretty cool. Disconnect. Does look like we've got some nice things, I guess. What are the chances I'm actually going to remember to use it when it comes around? Very, very unlikely. But it's always nice to have. Okay. So, confirmation that the size available for the rocket is fine. Thank you to the combination of people that ended up giving us, I guess, a special shout out to, try and get this spelling right, Kukakali, for your rocket tips and your sort of measurements here. And then also Ethos and Tesla for sort of pointing out the other aspects of this rocket building that we're going to have to do. We require both liquid fuel tanks and oxidizer tanks. So it was suggested that at least while we're only working with the petroleum rocket, that I should be using solid oxidizer tanks. So that'd be this guy. Now I wonder if is that what I've already put there? It's a liquid fuel tank. So it would be a liquid fuel tank for the petroleum, I assume, and then solid oxidizer tank for the Oxylite. So I'm just skimming back and forth through a few different comments on this one, just to make sure I get it all right. Oh, I've lost my comments. The other point was the approach. So, oh my goodness, I've totally lost them. Okay. Each destination can be researched by 5 databanks yielding 250 data. One oxidizer tank can support 3 fuel tanks. using one fuel tank and one oxylite tank, you can carry the 5 research modules to 30,000 kilometers. With 2 fuel tanks, you can reach 50,000. With 3, you can reach 90. You can take 1 module to 90,000 or 5 to 80,000. Okay, so that's those 2 tanks, and then what we're saying there is that we only need a maximum of 5 research modules, because any more than that, they're not going to be collecting anything anyway. So that's 4 along with that one, so that's our 5. It was also suggested that might have to reference a calculator for the correct amount of fuel to use, because otherwise it could be just wasting it because it burns up everything that gets thing. That I have no issues with. When I did say at one point I don't like watching other people's stuff, but I have a feeling that that would more just be like a Reddit forum or something where you could just access a calculator to tell you how much to use. So that's fine. Anything else on this I need at all? Meteor Blaster sounds really cool. Okay. Mission Control Station. That's interesting. I mean, I'm not sure I need one, but if it's just sort of speed that it deals with. Okay, so are we just going a command capsule on top of that? That's what I'll do for now. Shame just off that being a nice level for this. So we'll go command capsule. They actually built that incredibly quickly. Okay. So, size of the rocket, we have enough space. So how do I... So it's saying unreachable storage. But I can see that this guy's got... So he's got intakes. So I assume that means that they need to physically carry Oxylite into this thing. But as opposed to, say, this guy where I can clearly see where the door is, how does that work on this guy? I assume that I need a gantry. Do it. Now, it was suggested that this gantry is one too close. So when it comes to these ones, we want to pull them back one more. So we want him all the way back there. I suppose what that means is that we can copy this, run him up this way. Then what I'm going to do is just, like, say, knock out that wall. So we'll go dig, deconstruct, deconstruct, and deconstruct those as well. So they sort of go up, walk around, and go back in. I think that means we're going to have to deconstruct this wall as well. We'll wipe it out for now. Well, we'll cancel. Actually, I'll cancel these two. This guy, he's going to need access to petroleum. Doesn't really sort of give me a brief on it at all, but as a petroleum rocket, petroleum, I assume that that's what we have. Just to double check, make sure that I'm looking at the right things. Did I pause the game? Okay. Firstly, we want to find our petroleum. Petroleum. Yep. So that's definitely petroleum. So what we want to do is we then have to get this petroleum all the way up. Now, I think similarly to what we're doing with our gas, is I don't want to have a pipe that sort of runs all that way and is just full of petroleum the entire way. I think that what we want to do is put in a capper, so we can only send, like, say, 500 at a time. So let's dig out this funny little bit of rock that has somehow managed to survive this entire time. I mean, I suppose we don't really want... take the bacon, we're not going to use them, we've got more than enough. And so we have built all of our plants there now too. So what we want to do is go liquid... Is it a liquid meter? But exactly what that is isn't great. It's made out of gold. This one won't need that, so we'll go lead. Flick it that way. Really, I want him there. I think we can... It's just somewhere where there's not going to be much in the way of wasted pipe to him. Which I would probably say... That extends off this, this existing pipe work. He can go to there. And then we've got to get him all the way to there. So talk to me about this way down. I think I'm better off trying to cut him through here, just so that he doesn't have to run through the base of the two rockets. What am I wasting here? Just dirt? Make it igneous rock. Okay, now we're about to hit a whole mess of liquid pipes. So we'll go down this ladder because it's there. Well then, good bridge across that guy. And liquid bridge. Gonna have to do a double hop maybe. So we'll go one hop. Where are we attempting to get to? Okay, over here. So where were we? There. So if we hop there, there. I think that's it. So then we just go back. That connected them, those two. No. So that one. And then I guess down straight across there. This guy can run. Just to sort of avoid his bedroom. Okay. And that's our access to petroleum. Unreachable storage. So if we then go look at this again and we say copy, flip it, so we want it there. Too far there. So if we deconstruct that guy, we'll deconstruct the door as well. Dig out that guy. otherwise it's going to knock out the floor that the guys use. So we should rebuild that one. I mean, is it that thing that it just sort of needs an access point to? Just trying to think if there's a way to like get a quick explanation on how you access it. Alright, well, we're just going to go, I guess, the assumed route and repeat that. So, what we'll do is knock out, deconstruct that guy and that guy. Copy the ladder. I always find it so confusing that it's pointing at those two, so the ladder starts there. Let's go up that way. And deconstruct those two. Dig out those two. Was there anything else that we were currently operating on? I guess water updates. So water updates down here is that there is still steam. It's still cooling down. The room is currently 99 still, so it's not not getting there. This guy's not happy because the steam temperature is too hot. Steam temperature below 175. Yeah, okay. Sorry, 125. It's almost there. Almost to the heat that it wants it. As always as well, it looks like this guy is happily getting cool water out. This guy is just never happy. Still pushing out water at 35. So he's obviously just in a much worse position than this guy is. But I mean, if you look at the water in there, it's not. It's basically the same. Like he's in water that's about 147, and this guy's in water that's 149. Yet that guy's almost constantly running water, and the other guy isn't. What's the difference? Is it the sort of the journey that the liquid goes on? It's this one here, isn't it? Those insulated tiles. I mean, it's insulated liquid pipes as well, so it shouldn't be sort of gaining the heat of these incredibly hot tiles as it moves through it. Now, well, I guess it's a mystery. Assumably, what we're at least doing is we're making this pool cooler to benefit the other guy, even if he's not gaining water. Oh. This is getting lean. Have you hit dormancy yet? Next activity, 39 cycles. Okay, so we are currently in a dormant period. It looks like it would have just started. If our active period is 77 out of 118, then it would mean 22.5 plus 18, so it's about 40 point something is how long it's dormant for. There's still some natural gas in that room, but we're into milligrams as he's pumping away at the moment. The fact that we've got some storage at all, I guess, is our win for this. And the fact that our oil refineries will actually, like, operate when this goes down, because we do have continuing access to our refineries this time. It's hopefully a good sign. They've done quick work in building this pipeline too. It's almost all the way done. Doing a great job on that too. I actually don't see any reason why I can't copy that and build down here, deconstruct those two pieces of wall, and then instead just have a ladder that runs from this end too. Not mop, sweep. Let's sweep up all the stuff that's at the bottom there too. And we'll extend our ladder out. These two coal generators are just pumping along as well. I wonder if there's a chart or anywhere that actually tells me like my like where I've gained the most of my electricity from. Like, is it those two coal generators that have done the heavy lifting, or natural gas generators? Right, it's an unreachable build there. Suppose I can't climb onto that one anyway. Let's just build that ladder all the way down. I think it really is my dream to have this second guy here working in and actually putting stuff through. $49, $35, $46, $32. So currently he's not really letting any water through. 19. So occasionally, yeah, you can see 32, 19. So there's occasional the other side. I guess they're in the same boat. I'm gonna build this across because otherwise it's gonna haunt me. Okay, so we can say deconstruct that portion of that. This has been built. Unassigned, that one's unassigned as well. But I would say we can now copy this and build our wall a little bit longer down. I'm gonna put a little block under it, so it seems like it does actually got some support climbing it. We will say deconstruct for those guys. Give him a block 2. That guy. Now that's currently complaining that it's got no power, but yeah, I don't think that we even need to like power it. If we're gonna go with the same logic of this guy of just it potentially burns and dies, then so be it. I can definitely see how where it's sitting now it actually is going to be more safe because it is in line with everything else. It comes back to this point. So I mean, good argument for actually correcting this one. I'm lazy though. I want to see if once this gets built, that guy stops complaining about his unreachable build. But I feel like, yeah, every day that we get by of these 40-ish cycles. I mean, you can see it's been one more day, and I think we've already smashed out more than half of that. We are going to burn through this fast. That is not gas. You can see it's such a small amount coming from the refineries. Yeah. Well, that's going to be a problem at some point. Although we do have this guy's now in the mix. Yeah, so we've got a little bit more power coming from one of those guys. Guy's still not happy with being too hot because he still has that steam. Still at about 30 kilograms. I don't recall why these guys were disabled. We can enable them again. See, the fourth guy is just sort of stacked with stuff. Not sure if we change the settings to everyone else, but we'll yep, just apply them all. Yeah, let's take some 2 tons of water. Because this is one of the main supply sources of water for this, my main reservoir, this is the main thing that makes me think that part of the guy just sort of cooling water and dropping it back in almost goes in vain because it's such hot water that is it's coming over this wall. It's kind of the point of this part here, this like little lip in the wall here, is to stop that stuff from being so hot and getting over there. Okay, he doesn't complain anymore. He is now accessible. So, with our resources, let's put Oxylite on there. Currently 0. Now, content 0, so it's not like anyone's picked it up, dumped it over there. So, we are now on a mission for Oxylite. It was mentioned. Solid oxidizer in the game is Oxylite, and you can make it using an Oxylite refinery. So let's have a look at our refinements. Oxylite refinery. We can use lead. Oh, we can use lead to make the refinery. Dumpty. Alright, let's chuck him in. Let's chuck him right next to this guy. So, I mean, there's room up there too. But let's put him a little bit lower down here where it's hotter. Say deconstruct 1, deconstruct 2, deconstruct 3. Binary. Well, we don't want to use lead then because we want the overheat ability. Go for gold. Already into the next one. Wait, if that's not going to reach 30 cycles remaining. I think that was looking incredibly good at the point. I think I only had 2 refineries, natural gas generators going. I added that third one, it fell away. I mean, for a lot, like, not a whole bunch of it, but there was in part there where the refineries weren't operating either, so we weren't getting that tiny little bit of support that they were offering up as well. Okay. I feel like if I mop up that stuff, it may not be the case, but I feel like getting the water out of the area might help the steam too. Probably not. I mean, water has to have gotten cold enough to... What? You went on... Come on, finish this off. Or does it still need something else? Do we have plastic? We've got plastic, right? Got water down here going. This water is getting used in here. Like, we're cleaning it, and then it's getting used for all the sort of stuff that doesn't need clean water, like cool water. If that empties, then we're going to shift to using the cold water for all of that. At which point, would become a little bit more, like, it could put a bit more strain on our drinking water. Okay. Power wire connected, no gas intake, so it needs oxygen. Well, when we had the overboard of oxygen, these guys would come in handy. Alright, so firstly we want power, conductive wire. That's going to be a real stretch if we push it on this guy. What's he connected to? Ah, we'll give it a whirl. It's a 4,000 one. Got heaps. Okay, so then you need oxygen. I reckon we can just take it from this guy. Well, I think we can just go up. Not really that far at all. This was for a long time the thing that I needed way more oxygen for. But you can see that this thing is basically blocked. Like, this guy here can essentially sometimes will have to stop, I guess, because he's not being able to move enough oxygen. Whereas hopefully this should, one way to describe that would be solve the problem. Another way will be hopefully it doesn't kill this efficiency of that part. Still can't reach that. Alright. I think what we're going to have to do is deconstruct that and that so that someone can just hop across. Let's say, oh no, something starving. Oh wait, no, it's meant to be. It's a circle of life. These guys, they're born, they reproduce, they never eat, they die. We do also have our, oh no, I was gonna say, once this is done, our liquid is set up and ready to go too. Okay, hello Oxylite. Binary? Do I put in an order? Now, hopefully it's just, you're just sort of operating, and then as that gets made, they're going to drop it off to where it's needed. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so there's some Oxylite, 10 kilos worth. Power, so let's get that sorted out. Not much power, so we can that way. I mean, it's a decent click that that's going to move at. Because it does use gold, I feel like there must be a certain point where we've got to say, like, okay, no. Is there any way in this game that gold can become a renewable resource? Because I feel like that's going to start to become a problem for us in a while, but always good to be prepared. Just curious to see if anyone's going to come and collect it. maybe not. Focused on doing stuff over here. Is there an obvious sort of standing order here? Like, are we gonna... Do I need to make in any command to go send it up top? Alright, either way, that does bring us to the end of this one, so I guess next time we'll figure out the ways of our Oxylite and where how we're gonna get it up there. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later. Yeah.